Okay, so welcome to Imola for our NKRT Elite Division here. Some strong competitors going on today. It looks like SL Man or Calm is first out. Setting some good times on Monday in practice. Should be interesting to see him live. So see what he can do. SL Man is on his way out as well. So we'll stick on SL Man for the first lap or so till we get other people out. Looks like a lot of them are making quite a strategic decision there. So we're quite into a fast left-hander, then heavy on the brakes and into the right-hander. Nice little drift there. And then hard onto the brakes down into our hairpin. Slowly back on the power, don't want to oversteer. And then back up the hill. Tricky corner as we go down the hill. Car gets really light on this point. And then we're into the fast right-hander and then back up the hill. Right, let's see who else is out on track. Asari is out on track as well. Looks like Eddie's had a bit of a boo-boo there. One grid place penalty, a pit lane violation. See those two back up the hill. BMW looks planted through the left-hander. There we go, reloads up the hill. SL must be close to starting that first initial lap there. Shum looks like he's had a bit of an incident already. It's good to see him back on track. There we go, Eddie. Team Enigma there. There we go, see the Asaria and Eddie starting their laps. Eddie looks like he's trying to get in the slipstream of Asaria to start off. Let's have a look at SL, see how he's getting on. But where is he now? He's coming up from the hairpin into that fast left-hander. And then heading back down the hill. Dropping it down a gear, down into second gear probably, and then up the hill. Lovely, well done. Going to start getting some times on the board soon. Track temperature is around 35 degrees at the moment, so just on that limit of the softs. So there we go, Saria's setting it into a 56. He was further down the pit lane, so his timing would have been on the out lap. It's going to be a close call with Asaria and SL at the front. There we go, SL first flying lap right into the 45s for that first opening lap. That's pretty damn quick, so well done to SL for doing that. Looks like he's pulling over. He's happy with that for the time being. Probably a few changes going on there. Jay Calm Racer is setting a 149. Not the best opening laps, but he'll be getting himself together ready to set a much faster lap, I'd imagine. Let's see how Asaria is getting on. He should be on a flyer now. There we go, coming round. I reckon he's going to be down in the 45s, 46s. Certainly should be if that was a clean lap. 49 as well. But reload, there we go, reload with a 47, so well done to reload there. I'd expect to break it into the 44s within the next 4 or 5 minutes. See how Chum's getting on. Chum's going up the hill now. I think that Beetle has seen far better days. Reloads on a Ferrari. That Ferrari is looking nice and planted. Running a tiny bit wider than he probably would like there. But now setting himself up for the chicane. There we go, on the brakes. Putting it into the right hand and then the left, so well done. That was good. Let's stick with him and see how he gets on. Tricky set of corners coming up here into the right-hander. And onto the brake. Oh, he goes a bit wrong there. Gets that wheel onto the grass before hitting the brakes. Let's see Asari. Hopefully he's not going to collect Asari on the way. Well done to reload for getting out of the way there. Let's hope it hasn't affected Asari's time too much. Right, 13 minutes left of qualifying. Slow on the times at the moment. Let's see if Asari's improved on that. Yeah, there we go, into the 147, so well done. Not his best lap, I'm sure he's got a lot more inside. Let's see how Calm's getting on. Nice in there. Well done to Chum getting out of the way. Probably can cut a bit more off that corner. Nicely held on there. And up the hills. Looks like he's on a bit of a flyer now. Onto the brakes, into the left-hander. And then back on the power. Let's see if he's improved on his 148. I think we're down into the 146, his 147s. Looks a neat and tidy lap from Jay. Let's see how we get on. Yeah, there we go, 147, well done. See if Chum's improved. He's having a bit of a rough time out there at the moment. But there we go, Eddie with a 145.406. Impressive from Eddie, well done. He's got that McLaren set up nicely, quite a planted car. Let's have a flick through. How's SL coming in the last little complex here? There we go. Oh, running a bit wide. That's going to cost him. He's probably got a slowdown penalty. Have we improved on the time? No, I didn't. I think we lost it on that last one. See how Ghost is getting on. Where are we? Still in the 47s. Sorry, back in the pits there. Let's have a look at reload. Whereabouts is reload on the track? Round the hairpin, back up the hill. That's good. Looks like Ghost is back in the pits. Asari's in the pits. Nicely held from there. This is a tricky corner, this. Oh, looks like he's back in the pits there. How are we getting on, Calm? Round the last corner. Back on the power, that. And he's back in the pits, practicing his pit. Don't get it wrong. There we go, pit lane violation. That creeps up on you. I want to see how Eddie's getting on here. Eddie, unfortunately, has got that grid play, so he will lose the pole. still sticks at the 45.06. Let's see how he gets on into second gear through there, back on the power. Very smooth on the brakes as he comes in. Drops it down the gear and then sets himself up for the hairpin. So SL's back on the track, chasing down that McLaren Toyota Saria. I'm surprised we haven't seen the 144s yet. 9 minutes odd left of qualifying. So we're looking good here. Let's have a quick look at how we get on. Any comments in the comment would be great to have you in there. It'd be great to hear your opinion. Who thinks is going to get pole? SL and oh, nasty spin there from Eddie, back in straight into the pits, not wasting any time. But we have a new pole sitter, SL pipping into pole at 1:45.201. So well done him. And where are we? Let's see how Saria's getting on. Is he going to make an improvement on that time? Looks like we've had a bit of a knock on the rear end as he comes down the hill. Turns it in quite nicely. Bit of a squirm there as he feeds back in the power. You can cut that corner a lot more there. I think we've got a lot more to give. But back onto the straight. How are we getting on? Still the 1:46.2. Looks like SL Man's just had an invalid lap. That's a shame. How are we getting on SL? SL's into the pits. Jay, whereabouts are you on track? Fortunately, looks like Jay's got a pit violation as well. Let's see if he's made an improvement on that 1:47. I think he's got a 1:46 in there easy. If this is his out lap, not going to be the fastest time in the world. No, so still got a bit of this. Looks like his out lap. So let's see how he gets on now for this lap. They're all out on track now. SL's a bit behind. Oh, I don't think that's going to do it, Jay. That's a shame. How are we getting on relay? Let's see if he's made an improvement on the 1:47. No, doesn't look like it. And Ghost still in the 1:47.3. Chum looks like he's having a tricky old time today. Right, Eddie's setting up for another lap. Looks like he's on the pace now. Definitely going to try and prove a point to Eddie, I reckon. Right, let's have a flick through. Eddie's coming up to the hairpin. That's one strong place he is at. Getting back on that power and getting up that hill, so well done, Eddie. Here we come, reload. As the reload improved on that 1:47. There you go, reloads up into the 146.499. Well done, reload. Good result there. Right, here we go. Sorry, coming round, feeding back in that power. Has he improved on the 146 too? Yeah, he has. Not going above Eddie, 145.891. So a good, reasonable time there. Right, let's see if Calm has gone further up that leaderboard. Eddie's just set the fastest lap. He's now got down into the 44s. Now the times are tumbling. Calm's still there, didn't beat his time unfortunately. Let's have a look. Shum is not having a good day of it. Right, let's have a look at SL coming down the hill. Got to get the braking just right on here. Otherwise the car's going very, very light. And there we go into this last left-hander, back on the power. Looks a bit neater than the last time we had a look through there. Got 0.398 to beat to get up to Eddie. And let's have a look, see where we've got. Here we go, across the line. No, unfortunately he's 0.339 down. That is a shame. Let's have a look at... Right, here we go back into that part. Jay's still in the 147s one, so very close to cracking into that 146s. He's definitely got the potential in that car. There we go, good line through that left-hander. And then back left-hander. If you're watching on the on Twitch, thanks very much. Why don't you say something in the chat? Say who's watching. So I know you can actually hear me. There we go. No, still down. Nearly just under 2 seconds down. SL is chasing Eddie down, I can guarantee you that much. So close to getting into the 144s. That's an impressive time by Eddie. I think a bit more and he's going to be knocking on those 43s, but time is running out. We're down into the last couple of minutes now. SL is setting some fast times here. He's well under now. I think that was an improvement, about 0.4 of a second. Running a tad bit wider than he probably wanted, back onto the rumble strip. Probably very close to getting a slowdown, but I'm sure he's putting his foot down to get through that. Let's see if he's made an improvement on that time. Here we go. What have we got? 0.455. So now we've got our front two runners down into the 44s. I reckon he's going to be gearing up then. Looks like he had to lift off in there to get around that left-hander. See how he gets back through here. Off the throttle, down a gear, down 2 more gears, and then back on the power. Nicely done, nicely held. Now I want to see his split as he comes through this hairpin. Bit of opposite lock there, but he's still under by 0.020, so he's still got capability of pulling some time back here. Running a bit wide there. This is the corner where you can make it up. No, it looks like he's given up that lap. Ghost, impressive by Ghost, up into the 145.8. See how he's getting on. He's chasing somebody. Hopefully they can move out of the way, or it looks like they're both going for it. There's Chum. Right, qualifying 90 seconds left. Let's see how we're going to have any last minutes. Nicely out of that. Nicely under control. I'd like to see Chum improve on that time. But Ghost is going for it, and then we've got one more behind him. I think that's Osaria's making a last-ditch attempt to see if he can get into the top three, knock Ghost off that third place. Taking a bit of a strange line out of that last corner. But he's on it. Let's see. No, still there. Thank you for flashing, that's good. Let's see how Osaria does. No, I think he's it. I think that's qualifying done. So first Eddie, well done Eddie. Second SL Man, 3 Ghost, 4 Osaria, 5 Reload, 6 Calm Racer and 7 Chum. So some good results there. So we're on the grid, all lining up. I hope the boys are going to be careful running into this first left-hander. If you are watching, feel free to comment in the chat who you think is going to get top 3 or first place and fastest lap we're looking at. So a nice start here. 22 laps. And looks like they're getting ready to go. I think Eddie could do this if Eddie holds it steady. If Eddie's getting halfway through the race in the lead, he's got every potential to take this race. SL Man as well got the capability as well as Osaria and Ghost. So the top 4 are really going to be gearing up there. It looks like Chum got into 6th place as well. So well done to Chum on that one. Dying minutes of the of quali. So it looks like we're kind of gearing up now. They'll be selecting their pit strategy. Hopefully Jay's got enough fuel to make this race. But it's looking neat and tidy. I wouldn't discharge Jay in the back there as well. Jay can be consistent in that Mercedes. That'd be good to see him working his way up through. I think Jay's certainly got into the top 5. I think he has a capability of getting there. Quite a small grid today, so if you do want to take part, feel free to invite people along. Feel free to speak to us on our Discord channel. Search for NKRT Sim. Be good to see you there. Right, here we go. Chum's got his lights on and ready for the start. Going to follow Ghost. Let's go for Eddie, see how we get on. So great start there. That Porsche is always quick on the start. SL's got the lead still. Eddie's just behind. Sorry, looks like he's on the grass. And on the brakes. Oh, that Porsche is Eddie's round the inside. Right, what's happened? Sorry, it's a bit on the grass there. I missed that. Looks like we're... Chum looks like he's had a bit of an off. But right, Eddie is chasing SL down. This is it between these two. Got to keep on that tail for Osaria. Sorry, Eddie's got to keep on that tail of SL Man. Got to keep him close by. If he loses touch with him, that's it. He's off into the distance and very little chance of making a mistake. Got to keep that pressure on there, which he's doing at the moment. He's in with a second. And then we see Osaria falling back a bit, but keeping it within the 4 seconds. So got every capability of picking up on any mistakes these front 2 runners have. Let's have a look at Jay's there. Up into 4th place, so well done to Jay. Good start from you. And we also see Reload there. And then Ghost. And then Chum in the background, keeping it between the white lines. Right, Eddie looks like he's got a bit of a track limit warning, so that's a shame. And we see he's still within that second. He's still within that second of SL Man. So it'd be good to see him utilising that. Closing the gap onto underneath the brakes. Eddie's got a good race here. Chasing him down. He's closing him now. 0.8 of a second. Asari is still there. He's still keeping that distance from behind. Nice to see him closing that gap now, starting to push the gap. Looks like he's had a bit of a time penalty, and looks like he's pulled ahead quite a bit. He's 3 seconds. Allows Cesario to start to latch onto the back of Eddie and start to reel him in. Cesario's got the consistency. I mean, I know he loves this track, and he's got a setup on that BM that's worth its weight in gold. And he won't be liking this. But again, we see Jay there coming up behind. Just getting a bit of pressure from Reload. Okay, where are we seeing this? So a bit of a gap there. We've got Eddie dropping back off SL's tail. Just can't keep that pace up, unfortunately. But we see Hasaria closing that gap now. He's sniffing it and he's wanting it, which is great to see. See if he can start to rein him in here. See how these distances are doing. It looks like relatively close between the top first and second and third and fourth. Anything can happen at this point. Let's have a look from Asaria's car here. So yeah, it's very close now. I'm going to start to see the sun setting. And starting to see a drop in those temperatures on those tyres, especially that front left takes a real cooling in this weather. It's got to keep those temperatures up and carry on pushing through this, and that's when we're going to likely see mistakes. So he's really starting to chase Eddie down now. He can see him, and he's going to want that second place off him. I can guarantee that much. Looks like Eddie's lost sight of SL. No, he's still there a bit. He's still going to be chasing him down. I wonder how aware he is of Saria coming up from behind. So welcome to our new viewers. Feel free to say anything in the chat and I'll try and answer your questions. But it's good to see. Let's see how Calm's doing. He's dropped back a bit from Saria, but Reload's there. He's not shouldn't be forgotten. He's going to be putting pressure under Jay. Let's hope we don't get any mistakes. Yeah, he's really closing that gap. He's got his headlights on, putting that pressure on him. Coming close to a second now in the gap. Right. Oh, Eddie's had a spin. There we go. Saria's going to utilise that. Keep those. That is a shame from Eddie. And now Jay is going to be breathing down his neck. Jay's going to utilise this, I think. Try and close that gap, put that pressure on Eddie, see if he can force him to make another mistake. Exciting stuff. Now Hasaria, can Hasaria close that gap down on any more to SL, put some pressure on him, see if he can force a mistake. It'd be great to see if he can. Okay, so looks like Reload's got a track penalty there going on. It's now starting to really push. You can see Jay, and then not too far enough Eddie. Reload's got another track penalty, track warning. Going to have to watch those, and we're going to start getting penalties on the board for him. Now we can see the sun really starting to set, and those tyres will be dropping off now. Probably around the 28 degrees now, having to work those front lefts. Right, let's have a look. So looks like SL man, got to give him a bit of airtime. Crossing the line there. Fast time. Let's see if he can get down. Everything in the 46s is not a bad pace, but he's got no pressure. This race is really his in the bag if he just keeps it between the white lines, keeps it on the black stuff. Asaria in second place. Do like those yellow headlights on that BM. And then we see Eddie as well. Small little mistake from Eddie, such a shame. Probably a bit more tentative around this time. But we see Jay, he's closing that gap, he seems to be holding it, he's not going to watch him disappear. That consistency coming through with Jay really nicely. There we go, back on the power for Eddie, Jay's just behind. And where have we got with Sari is still slowly slipping away from SL man. It's difficult to push yourself when you've not got that visibility. Let's have a look at Jay there. You know what, Reload's drifting off a bit, but he's still able to close that gap. Slow lap on that one already, that's where he made a mistake. Eddie looks like he's pulling away from Jay now. And it's sorry is starting. Oh, what happened there? Bit of a mistake from Eddie. It's given Asari a bit of a breathing space. Starting to pull out. 5 seconds now. There we go, 4.3 seconds. But SL man now right out in the front. Looks like Jay's got a bit of a track warning. That's a shame. There we go, Eddie. Jay is closing that gap now. Looks like we're into a second here. Let's keep an eye on Jay here. Is he going to start utilising this, starting to put pressure on him? Where's he going to make that move? I think where he's going to get him is down the straight coming out of that last corner. He's pulled a bit of a gap to him now, 1.5 seconds. I want to see what happens at the straight after this hairpin, whether Jay's closing down. I know Jay is fast in that straight line coming out onto that home straight. So we got a gap there of 2. Is he going to close this down at all? No, he's still pulling away. So he's running quite a low air force on that McLaren. Getting the power down nice and quick, which is fantastic. And where else have we got? What else have we got timing wise? So Asari again, we're looking at about 3 second gap between him and Eddie. And then we're looking at about a 2 or 3 second gap between Eddie and Calm. Not the best line from Eddie going through there. Oh, sorry. Let's see if Eddie's going to bring that a bit closer. I'm impressed with Jay. I think I called it right for him getting up into the 4th place in the top 5, that's for sure. Looks like we've lost Chum. That's unfortunate to see him go. Ghost is there, setting those times. Just never know what will happen. He's just got to be consistent, carry on, pick up any mistakes that the other guys do make. Looks like he's quite a way down though. Reload. He's still got Jay in his sights. He's still there. Any mistake that Jay make, Reload's going to catch him out. It's good to see Reload on track. Oh, running a bit wide there. That's not what you can afford to do. Right, Eddie and Jay. He's 3 seconds behind. Which I don't think he's going to close up. He needs to start putting that pressure on Eddie there as Eddie goes back up the hill. But no, Eddie's fast coming out the corners. Slow in, fast out. That's what he does. But then Again, this Hasaria, Eddie and Jay are all close. Any one of them makes a mistake, they're going to get picked up on straight away. See, SL setting some fast times. He's 46.6 there. He's definitely going to be pulling away there. Sorry, had a slow lap the last lap. Allowed Eddie to close in a bit. 0.7 seconds down. See what he can do this next time round. See if he can utilise that. It is close between them. You still see his rear lights, still keeping that pressure on. Both of them can't afford to make any mistakes, or they're instantly going to lose that place. On the brakes, into that left-hander, then feeds it nicely into the right and then the left. Eddie's quick through there. When he gets it right, he's on it. Still keeping that 3.2. Eddie's still lapping 0.3 of a second faster on that lap. Jay is going to be struggling. He is now about 2 seconds down a lap, which is going to affect him. I want to keep an eye. Let's see how SL's doing. Nice and neat and tidy back up the hill. Getting ready through the chicane. Ooh, that 13-second lead. We're about 8 laps in now. Coming up to halfway. We'll give him some airtime. Right, looks like... Oh, hang on. What's gone on here? Jay has got him into third place. Well done, Jay. Not sure what happened there with Eddie. Sorry, I missed that. I think it may have been a bit of a time penalty as he runs wide there as well. So this has changed things up a bit. And Jay's now going to have some pressure in his hands, keeping Eddie at bay. Eddie's dropped down again. What's gone on with Eddie? That's not good for Eddie. Team Enigma's struggling here in this coming up to halfway in the race, but he's got the drag on him. Right, this should be interesting into this corner. He's going to get in that slipstream, closing the gap, 0.2438, and I think he's going to be heavy on the brakes. Is he? Which side's he going to go? Looks like Reload's going for the defensive, and there he goes, switches back. He's going to let him have it. Is he going to run a faster corner right up behind him? 0.27 seconds. Slow on the throttle there to let out. I think he's setting him up for the hairpin. That's my bet. But Reload is now... Jay's pulling away. Jay's 9 seconds. What happened to Eddie? Great result for Jay though, now pulling away, giving him a bit of breather space. Asari is still out in front, but Jay's setting a lot faster lap there than Asari by a second. I want to see if Eddie's going to make a move on here. Looks like he had a bit of a nightmare somewhere. I reckon some time penalties. Eddie again, yeah, I think so. There we go. That's a tricky corner in the McLaren. That back end switching places very easily. So great result in Jay. Now Jay's 14 seconds, but he's quicker than Eddie. Quicker than Hasaria. There's some good laps coming in here. Nice consistency. Looks like that pressure is off him. He can settle down into a routine. If he carries on pulling him in like this, it's not going to be long until he is catching Hasaria. So some interest in there, but Hasaria pulls it back, second quicker on that lap. Let's see how Jay does on this timing. 46.6 for Hasaria, no, only 47.2. So again, Hasaria is now starting to slowly put out that lead. Such a shame for Eddie, but great result for Reload there. Looks like he's got a bit of time by himself. Eddie's dropping 6 seconds back now. Eddie's got some work to do. 10 laps into this race, another 12 laps to go, and he is struggling. There we go, there's Eddie. That McLaren through those two right-handers. Push it tiny bit too hard, that back end is going to swap places with you incredibly quickly. But it's good to see him now slowly getting down into the 47s, 46s, looking at kind of trying to reload in. 5 seconds behind him. It's not impossible to catch even Jay if he gets some consistent laps here. We'll need to see what he's going to do. Ghost, it looks like he's had a few issues. Just needs to get a bit more consistent, but it's good to see him out on track. Anyway, carrying on working through. Hopefully picking up the pieces if anyone else has a bad race. Riding those curbs then, back on the power. Getting that speed done. Looks like Ghost has had an incident going on there. Got a red light. I think we could be in with a penalty for there. And there, who have we got coming into the pits? Reload into the pits. This is where Eddie needs to set some really good consistent laps. Make sure he utilises that time he's got in the pits. Making sure that he can maybe, when it jump reload in there. So it comes to a stop. Jay again, look at that. Over a second quicker than Hasaria on that lap. You know what, if he keeps this, he's just got to be consistent now. Don't have to be the fastest out there, but if you're consistent and somebody's going lapping you, slow and fast, then you've got every chance of doing it. It's great to see. There we go. Ghost's little warning there as he comes on there. Now this is going to work for Eddie here. Reload has got to chase Ghost down now, and he could be stuck behind a back marker if he leaves him there. So this is giving Eddie a chance to really kind of stretch out that time, maybe even get ahead of him when he comes out of his pit stop. So some hard work there for Eddie. I wonder if he's aware of it. Keep an eye on that time. But this has really worked in his favour to try and get back into that and keep that fourth place. We know that Ghost still has to have his pit stop. Again, there we go. So those times between Hasaria and Jay, Calm Racer, not far off it. Again, SL man straight out in the lead. He's not letting that go at all. Nice and consistent from the beginning. And not crack under the pressure of Eddie right behind him. Let's have a look at Eddie. So Eddie to Ghost is just under 25 seconds, and then Ghost to Reload's another 2. So we're looking at about a 30-second pit lane here. So this could really work in Reload's favour, for Eddie's favour here. Like Jay's getting a bit of a warning. Let's see how we get the car going really light here. Dropping down, either braking or letting off the throttle, turning the car in, down a couple of gears, then back on the power up the hill, ready for that chicane. Very neat and tidy there. Well done for Jay on that one. Slowly pulling away. He had a slow lap there. He was about a second down on Hasaria. He's giving Hasaria a bit of a breathing space. Eddie, 21 seconds back. Is he? You know, it's going to be unlikely he does it unless Jay has a mistake. Let's hope they keep their pit limiters on going into the pits, as we'll start to see the pits coming down. One pit, I think, so far. But let's have a look at SL man, very neat and tidy as ever. Down a gear into that left hand, a couple of drops down, and then back on the power ready for the hairpin. Nicely done. Well done. And then back on the power up again. Very neat, very tidy all the way through, and that's why he's got a 17-second lead. Looks like Jay's got a bit of a warning there. He's starting to push now. I think you can start to see Sari just eking out that gap. I want to see what happens when Eddie pits. That's what I want to keep an eye on. And we'll flick straight on to Reload. Reload has got past Ghost now. So he's pulled about a 2-second lead, about 30-second back from Eddie. So this is going to be close between Eddie and Reload to see what happens on that pit exit. Hopefully Eddie can do it, but Reload's really got to start pushing now. He's done well to get past Ghost so quickly. Shame I missed that. I should have kept an eye on that, sorry. But let's have a look at how Eddie is doing. Is Eddie going to be pitting yet? This is the question. I think he may be waiting for the sun to start coming up. But again, Eddie's pulling off. Again, let's see how he gets through here. Car's going really light now. Drops it down. You can just let your foot off. Use a bit of brake, engine brake to get around here. He'll be going through there in second gear, back on the power. Right, we're still in that 30 seconds. This is going to be tight, I think, between him and Reload. He needs to get that pit lane absolutely right. I think really, to be on the safe side though, he needs to eke that lead out into about 33 seconds. He's got a bit of work to do, but I don't think Eddie's going to be stopping till much later on. I know that he's going to be annoyed about letting Jay get past. He's closing him down. 47.1 on that last lap from Eddie. And let's see how that goes on this lap. Looked like it was a quick lap. Pulled out to about 31 seconds from Reload. So he's done well. There we go, 31 seconds. Hopefully we can get a faster lap time. So where are we now? There we go, another 47.6. So pretty fast. Let's have a look at how we're doing with Reload's time. See, that was a fast time. I think that was his pit time. So we're up to 32 seconds now, dropping back. So this is going to be close here. 33, but I want to see what times we're doing. That's going to be the teller. If we're going to get down into the 40, you need to be in the 47s really to keep Eddie at bay. Let's see how we get on a time. 49, so Eddie is doing the job now. Eddie's starting to pull that and raise that gap out, and let's hope he can keep it there, no silly mistakes. Ghost is really starting to breathe down Reload's neck. Both very fast time. Actually, Ghost set a 900th of a second quicker, so he's not giving up. He's going to keep that Ferrari in check, I think. And let's see how we're doing with Eddie. How's keeping this nice and tidy through the chicane. Do love the look of that McLaren. Back on the power. And how we doing on Asaria? I think Asaria might be closing in, but a slow lap there from Asaria. He's really brought it closer. I think we should start to see some pits soon. 7 laps to go. Right, here we go. Eddie's in the pits. Reload, where are you? Now, this is interesting because Reload's starting to get some pressure from Ghost. So let's see if he makes a mistake. Back on the power. He's now coming down the hill. He's got to get these next 2 corners absolutely right. 2 very, very tricky corners. But Ghost is breathing down his neck. This is really going to play. This is working well. Wide on that corner. Are we going to get a good run down the straight? Yes, we are. Where is Eddie? Eddie's starting to move already. So is Reload going to do it? This is going to be the telltale. So hopefully Eddie's not out of the pits yet. Oh, it's going to be tight. Eddie's not done it. There we go. Eddie's not done it. Reload, brilliant bit of driving. Ghost as well. He's up there. This drops Eddie down into 6th. Such a shame from Eddie. But there we go, Reload's really all over the back. Ghost is all over the back of Reload now. Or you don't want to be overtaken there, you want to be lining that up. Show him where he is in the wing mirrors. Ferrari versus Lamborghini. Is he going to make a move on him, and where's he going to do it? Two closest cars out on track. Though, I have to say, Calm is only 4 seconds in front, so it's still pretty tight. All on the same lap, some nice clean racing going on here. And it looks like Reload's starting to respond and trying to pull out that gap. And in the same time, he's pulling in Jay as well. 3.1 seconds now. I think this could be leading up to quite an exciting few laps. How we do and go, there we go. Eddie's still only 5 seconds behind. Sun is coming up now. This is where the temperatures are going to be starting to raise up quite considerably. Got to start looking after those tyres. Start protecting it. Right, battle drag race going on here now. And where is he going to do? Is he going to line him up? Stay on that drag for a bit longer. Here we go. No, he's going to stay nicely tucked in there. Only half a second back, so probably a bit too far really to make a move. But this is close, and Jay is in the firing line as well now. That time he's staying in his slipstream. Got to watch that front end of that Lambo going like that close. Now, is he going to line him up for the hairpin? Trying to go around the outside. Is he going to get the cut back up the hill? I think he is. There we go. Nicely set up from Ghost there. All the way back, right from that first left-hand, right-hander. Back up the hill. Keep it nice and neat, boys. Oh, a tiny little tap there, unfortunately. Pushed him wide a bit. And they ran out of space. Now, I know that Reload's not going to be liking that. He's going to be gearing him up. And eyeing him up. Good race from him. Good race from Jay as well. Third place. A bit of a slow lap there, though. I think we've got some pit stops to come. I know SL, I'm pretty sure SL and Asaria and Jay haven't had them, but I'm not entirely sure. Right, let's have a look at how Jay's getting on. So Asaria, I think Jay's pitted, but we've got SL and Asaria definitely haven't pitted with that far in front. I think that's comfortably in the bag for those boys. But we see there, it's all within that 1 second. Is he going to repay in the favour? Is Ghost going to make a move? We've got a few laps left now. Coming to the final straight, as I say. It looks like Reload's really got his eyes focused on here, which is great to see. Really close racing. Shame about that little tap earlier on. But a fantastic race from Jay, especially SL, his teammate out in front, and Jay really a first and third here. It's going to help them tremendously. Good result from Asaria as well. That was a slow lap from SL there. Allowed Asaria to close the gap a bit. He's done well there. Not the best qualifying result from Asaria, but certainly his race pace has been on it and been nice and relatively nice and consistent. These tyre temperatures are going to be nudging up to the 90s and 100s now, with the track temp probably close to the 45s now, well outside of the operating temperature of the softs. But we've got 4 laps left. Really some time to look after those tyres. Jay keeping it nice and calm. Keep it together now, Jay. Don't cut the corner too much. Let's see how Ghost Now Ghost has pulled out a bit from reload, which is good for him. Slight little controller there. Sorry about my controller cutting out. Some very close times there, really, between Ghost and Reload and Jay now, all under pressure. Let's have a look and see how that gap is. So, second separates. Oh, hello, Jay and Ghost, and then we've got a second between Ghost and Reload, so we're all within about 3 seconds of each other. Any little mistake can finish this. Back on the power for the Lambo there. This is where it can go wrong. This is probably one of the treacherous corners, trying to push it too hard here. Got to feed that car into that first right-hander, beat it on the second corner, and then back up that hill. It's close between these two. I'll tell you what, Asaria has closed that gap down to 9 seconds. Oh, Jay's running a bit wide there. Probably his tyres are going to get a bit hot now. If he's running too much towing, it's certainly going to pay the dividends. And that's really allowed Ghost to be closing that gap. Very close between these three. Anything can happen. Reload's going to be waiting there, ready for any mistake. Now is Ghost setting up Jay here. Jay's really got to hold it together now. Oh, he's a bit too far back. He's going. Oh, unfortunately, ran a bit wide there. Too late on the brakes. Reload's now back on his tail. This is given the opportunity to reload. Oh, you really don't want to try and overtake there. Very fast left-hander. Get a nice exit out and then set him up for the hairpin. We know that Reload's good at that hairpin. A beautiful move over Ghost. Beautiful move on Reload earlier on, and then feeding him back up the hill. But it is tight between these three. Jay's holding it tight. I think we're all within about 1 second of each other now. Feeding into the last 3 laps. Really nicely close. I like this. Ghost getting a bit of warning. I think Reload getting a bit of warning there, but still not got any penalties, I believe. Really watch that understeer, towing him that close. Jay's going to hold his nerve through here. Calm Racer's doing a great job. Nicely planted car, not really missed a beat. But two laps left now. Well, let's have a rundown. SL man out in the lead, looks like he's coming up to lap Eddie. And then we see Hasaria 10 seconds back. Good solid result from Hasaria today. Jay there. And then followed by this pack of 3 here. This is going to be interesting to the last 2 laps. Are they going to make a dive for it? Are they going to accept the result? I think Reload's going to certainly try and push in this part. Very close on the back of Ghost there. Only about just under half a second separates them. You can see that Ferrari really starting to understeer following in the draft. They certainly got the advantage. Nice bit of clean air there. There we go. Bit of, well held for that Lambo. I thought you'd lost it there, getting those 2 wheels. That's a shame. Looks like Jay has had a warning for cutting track. And the only reason I can imagine that. Let's see if he can bring this back. I really hope he does. He's had a good race, good solid. But these two have done well to catch up. He's going to have to work now. Just drop into a second. See if we can get a good run out of that corner. Oh, this is going to be close. There you go, 2 seconds, just under 2 seconds separates them now. Jay taking a very straight line into that corner, keeping all four wheels braking at the same rate rather than trying to turn in. Looks like Ghost may have a bit of a warning. Allow them to close in tighter. Reload closing into the back of Jay there. Now we see Hasaria and SL in the pits together. Now SL looks like he's off. Hasaria looks like he's just stopping. And looks like Ghost is pulling out for away from Jay. Yeah, there we go. About 1.5 seconds now. And looks like Reload is really starting to chase down the back of Jay. Jay's just got to hold it together. Looks like Ghost had a bit of a warning there, or Reload had a warning as well. That's really allowed him. He's looking down to the right hand side, under brakes. Jay cuts across, lets him know that he's not going to let up that easily. Hold that power down. Ghost has now got a bit of breathing space as he pulls away. Reload is all up the back of Jay now. Looking up the inside. Needs a good tight line through here, which he gets. And down on the throttle. Is he going to close the gap? The gap is actually extending, which is going to give Jay some breathing space. But we know Reload is not going to take going into the last lap now. Now this battle for 4th and 5th is really going to hot up now. SL right out in front, Hasaria 8 seconds behind, so well done. Let's have a... Ghost is now pulling away from him. I think he's comfortable now, he's just got to keep it on the track. Jay's got to hold it together now. Right, good turn in there. Okay, it's close, nice and neat and tidy. Here we go for the last lap. If you tuned in, got SL in first place, Hasaria second, catching him slightly there. Ghost in third, Jay in fourth, Reload in fifth, Eddie down in sixth, but very close now between Jay. I'm sticking on them. I do want to watch SL pass the line, and he has done, and I'm sorry for not getting that. Maybe there we go, Hasaria, well done. Now, this is where the battle is. We've got Ghost and Jay. Now, has he got the speed to do him into this last kind of complex? He's going to have to be brave to do him. I think he's too far back, just coming up to over half a second. He's going to have to be incredibly brave to do this. Unfortunately not, but good close racing there. Well done, boys. And we see Ghost in third. We see Jay. Unfortunately no flashing of lights, but we see Reload probably taking a sigh of breath as they cross the line, and then Eddie in sixth. All right. So well done, boys. Unfortunately not many in the grid. If you are watching and you do watch this, it would be great for you to join us. We are on Discord, but it would be great for you to come and join us. We run 2 championships for GT3 on a Wednesday and practice on a Monday. Looks like Eddie, I'm not sure what Eddie was doing there. So thank you very much for today. Just for the final results. So SL Man in first, Cesaria second, Ghost in third, fourth NK Calm Racer in fourth, and fifth Eddie. So thank you very much for joining us, and we shall see you next week. Thank you.